The tech and entertainment worlds have collided in a way that no one quite saw coming, and at the center of it all is Whitney Wolfe Herd, the billionaire founder of Bumble, who is now making headlines not for her business moves, but for her battle against a new biopic called Swiped. This film, starring Lily James, is inspired by Whitney's life story and her journey in the dating app world. But the controversy isn't about the casting or even the subject matter. It's about the fact that Whitney Wolfe Herd didn't want it made at all. Reports have surfaced that she tried to shut the film down, that she was completely uninvolved in the production, and that she's deeply unhappy about the way her story is being told on screen. This clash between one of the most influential women in tech and Hollywood filmmakers has created a gossip storm that's quickly gaining momentum. Whitney Wolfe Herd is not just another entrepreneur. She co-founded Tinder in its early days, but famously left the company under difficult circumstances, citing harassment and toxic work culture before going on to launch Bumble in 2014. Bumble flipped the script on dating apps by giving women the power to make the first move, a decision that resonated with millions and cemented Whitney as a tech pioneer and feminist icon. By her early 30s, she had become one of the youngest female billionaires in the world. Her story is inherently cinematic. A young woman takes on Silicon Valley's boys' club, faces personal and professional struggles, and ultimately builds an empire on her own terms. It's no surprise that Hollywood wanted to bring that story to the big screen. But here's where the drama begins. Swiped was announced with Lily James in a lead role, a respected actress known for her performances in Cinderella, Pam and Tommy, and Baby Driver. The movie is being marketed as inspired by Whitney's life rather than a strict biography. But insiders report that the storyline closely parallels her rise from Tinder's messy departure to Bumble's billion-dollar success. For many viewers, it's going to be obvious who the character is based on, which is exactly why Whitney reportedly tried to stop the project. She's made it clear that she was not consulted, she had no hand in shaping the narrative, and she does not approve of how her life is being traumatized. From Whitney's perspective, the issue isn't just about personal pride or vanity, it's about control over her story. Imagine building a company from scratch, pouring years of your life into it, weathering public controversies, and then seeing it adopted into a film that you had no say in. The risk, of course, is that the film might focus more on the drama and less on the substance, potentially exaggerating or distorting events for the sake of entertainment. Already, reports suggest that Swiped highlights Whitney's conflicts at Tinder and leans heavily into the scandal aspects of her journey, which might make for juicy cinema but could undermine her legacy as a serious businesswoman and visionary. On the flip side, Hollywood has its own defense. Producers argue that Swiped isn't technically a biography, it's a fictionalized story inspired by real events. That distinction allows them creative freedom and gives them the legal cover to make the film without Whitney's consent. From their perspective, her story is simply too compelling to ignore. The rise of dating apps changed the way people connect across the globe, and Whitney's role in that transformation is undeniable. They believe audiences want to see this kind of tale on screen, even if it ruffles feathers along the way. The tension has sparked heated debates not only in entertainment circles, but also in the tech and feminist communities. Many of Whitney's supporters feel she is right to be upset, arguing that a woman's story, especially one as personal as hers, shouldn't be taken and repackaged without her blessing. They point out that women in power often face misrepresentation in media, with their struggles sensationalized or their achievements minimized. In this case, the worry is that Whitney's business acumen and groundbreaking vision could be overshadowed by a narrative that prioritizes scandal. Others, however, argue that Whitney Wolfe Herd is now a public figure, whose story has entered the cultural conversation, making it fair game for artistic interpretation. They point to countless films inspired by historical or business figures that were made without direct involvement from the people depicted. From Facebook's The Social Network to Steve Jobs' multiple biopics, Hollywood has always taken liberties with real stories. Whether it's entirely fair or not, the entertainment industry thrives on drama, and Whitney's journey has plenty of it. The fact that Whitney reportedly tried to halt the film only adds to the intrigue. It's rare for a powerful business leader to publicly oppose a biopic, and her resistance gives the project even more publicity. Some cynics even suggest that the controversy might help Swiped when it eventually premieres, as audiences will be curious to see what was so wrong with the portrayal that Whitney herself wanted it blocked. In today's media landscape, controversy sells, and the clash between a tech mogul and Hollywood producers is a narrative in itself. For Whitney, the stakes are high. Her reputation as a trailblazing entrepreneur has been carefully built over years, and her brand, both personal and professional, is tied to ideas of empowerment, independence, and women's voices. If Swiped undermines that image or paints her in an unfavorable light, it could have ripple effects beyond gossip columns, potentially impacting how she's perceived in the business world. That's why this isn't just about Hollywood drama, it's about brand control, image, and legacy. As for the audience, the reaction has been mixed. Some are thrilled to see Lily James step into a role that celebrates the rise of a female entrepreneur, regardless of Whitney's objections. Others feel uncomfortable watching a dramatization that the subject herself has disowned. The discourse online is already heated, with fans dissecting every leaked detail, every casting announcement, and every word Whitney has said about the project. The conversation touches on larger themes of ownership, ethics, and the fine line between inspiration and exploitation. What makes this story particularly fascinating is that it feels like a collision between two worlds that rarely interact: the relentless pragmatism of the tech industry and the creative chaos of Hollywood. Whitney Wolfe Herd built her empire on calculated strategies, careful branding, and control, while Hollywood thrives on dramatization, embellishment, and spectacle. When these two forces clash, sparks fly, and the fallout is messy, public, and captivating. For now, Swiped is moving forward, and Whitney Wolfe Herd remains on the outside looking in, making her objections known but unable to stop the train once it has left the station. Whether the film becomes a hit or fades quickly after release, it has already achieved one thing. It has reignited interest in Whitney's story, Bumble's origins, and the controversies that surrounded the birth of modern dating apps. The biopic may end up shaping public perception of her legacy, for better or worse, and that's exactly why this battle matters. So, the question remains, will Whitney Wolfe Herd's real story outshine the fictionalized version, or will Swiped become the dominant narrative in pop culture's memory? Either way, this showdown between a billionaire entrepreneur and Hollywood storytelling machine is one of the most compelling celebrity controversies right now. If you've been following this drama and want to keep up with every twist and turn, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Should Whitney have the final say over her own story, or is this just the price of fame in the spotlight? Stay tuned, because this saga is far from over.